Alright boys, let's continue designing this page. So we're almost done with this, and yeah, we're literally almost done with this. There's literally just one more part to build, and that's the footer for this web page. And that's what we're going to build right now. In terms of design, we're completely done with this side. We're just going to build a footer, and then after that we'll spend some time making this whole thing responsive on all other devices and smaller screens. But yeah, the footer is not something very complex. We just have a bunch of links. We have some social icons. We have a short form for the email, and that's about it. So in our code editor, let's first create a footer component. There we go. And I'm also going to change this div into a footer and give it some classes. We'll give it some padding. We'll also give it a background color of Slade 900. Now inside here I'm going to create a container, and inside this I'm going to add all of our content. Let's first go to the page and render all of this so you can actually see what we're building. And this is what we have so far, just an empty black box. So let's start filling this with content now. First I'll create a paragraph, and this will be the brand name. I'll also go to the nav bar and just copy all of these classes because it's going to look the same way. And of course, this body text, we're going to wrap this in our brand color as well. And remove this space. We also need to change the text color to white. And there we go. So that's our brand name right there. Now, next, let's add some text here just as a placeholder. Let's also add some margin bottom here to separate these two elements. Next, I'll add some classes here. Let's change the text color to Slate 300. And also let's add some margin bottom here as well. Now we need to build the form. Let's create a flex box, and I'll add a text input element over here. We'll give it some padding, and we'll make it rounded, and also give it a border. And there we go. That's our input element. Now as for the subscribe button, or actually let's make it less rounded. And that's good enough. Now for the subscribe button, we're just going to use the primary button that we previously did, and I'll just call it subscribe. And there we go, that's our button. Now we need to find some icons for the social that we need to add below this. So I'm just going to use bootstrap icons for this. And as always, we're just going to place all of these in the icons.tsx file. Let's also not forget to add the screen labels. There we go. I'll also give it a prefix of BI for bootstrap icons, just because we already have an Instagram icon up here, and I don't want the names to conflict with each other. Let's get an icon for Twitter as well. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. There we go. And fix this class and change it to class name. Let's get one for Instagram as well. Let's also get YouTube right here. Now let's add all of these down here, just below the subscribe form. I'll create another flex box, give it some gap. And now let's create some links here. And inside each of these links, I'm going to add the social icons. There we go. Let's add the Instagram icon here, and over here the YouTube icon. And this is what we have now. So there's still a lot more work to be done on this. First, let's go to the icons and change their sizes to 24, let's say. Let's select all of these, this one as well, and I'll change all of these to 24 pixels. And that's a lot better for our needs. Now let's add some margin top here. Let's increase the gap as well. Awesome, okay. Now let's select all of these links and add some classes here. I'll give it the fill of white, and on hover, let's change that to orange, and also add a duration. And remove this fill current color from every single icon. Save changes, and now let's see. And now we get this cool hover effect. Now let's select all of this and put it inside another div. And this is what we have now. Let's create another div down here. And I'll turn this into a heading. We'll give it extra large text and also make it bold and add some margin bottom. And this will be the quick links section. Now just below this, I'm going to create an unordered list, and we'll fill this with a bunch of links. Let's say 5 links over here. Now let's just fill this with some text. Let's say destinations, tours, and a bunch of other stuff. Okay, there we go. Now let's improve this a bit more. We don't need the text white class here. And in this list, let's change the text to, let's say, 300. And I'll also turn this into a flex column and add some vertical gap here, just to separate each link out. There we go. Now let's just copy this whole thing and duplicate it. There we go. And let's just change the text over here. So this is just like another quick links section. There we go. So we have all the content that we need. Now we need to just arrange this into a proper layout. So select all of this and put all of it inside another div, which will be a grid with 3 columns. And okay, we've made some progress here. Let's change this to 4 columns. And let's give this first div 2 columns. And already really good. Now down here, let's add a horizontal line. And just below that, let's add another div. We should also add some margin here to separate these sections. There we go. Actually, let's increase that. And that's great. I also want to change the color of this line. Let's say slate 400. And that's good, but let's try 600. And that's even more subtle, so let's try 800. And that's barely visible. So let's go with 700. Okay, that's fine, I think. Now, in this next div, let's into a flex box and add some gap as usual. I'll just add some copyright information and stuff over here. Here I'll just link my own website with my name. And next I'll just add some copyright text. Just change the year. And add a button that says back to top. And also turn the cursor to a pointer. Let's also add a good icon for this as well. So let's go back to compose icons and let's find a good icon for this. Finding good icons is a problem in and of itself. Let's go with this one from material symbols. Copy this and place it in our icons file. I'll just call it double arrow up. And fix that class name and just paste the icon here. Now back in our footer, let's add that icon right here. There we go. Now let's see. We need to fix the color of this icon. So here, let's just add a class and just say fill slate 300. And there we go. And let's try this with no gap. And that's fine. So let's just remove the gap. And here, let's use our brand color to signify that this is a link. And we are pretty much done with this section now. We've added all of the content. We've fixed all of the layout issues. We've also added the copyright and everything else. So yeah, we are done with this now.